Okay, to start on Horace, more commonly known in the junior years to you as Quintus. Yeah, so there's not as many poems for Horace. There's only 5, so we'll get those done. Might be a little bit of a spillover till late next term, but I could also do those over the holidays. Just if people want to start studying over the holidays, we can just revise because so yeah, usually more revision time. So yeah, it was known as we're already past halfway. It was known as Quintus Horatius Flaccus. As you would have encountered in historical notes, he was an Epicurean poet. So as I would have said in those notes, Epicure in the Age newspaper is the section on eating out, fine wine and dining. So just the belief that pleasure is life's purpose, but not overdoing it. So you're allowed to, well, not you, but just say adults are encouraged to, not encouraged, but just if you do drink alcohol, you do it responsibly. If you eat, you don't gorge yourself. You just, but yeah, you take pleasure in it, but not overdoing it. So as I've said before, 1st century BCE, my sort of favorite period of our Roman history, because of figures such as Julius Caesar, his successor, Augustus or Octavian, his adopted heir, and writers or poets such as Horace, also Catullus, and Virgil, who's your main focus next year. So as you should already know from the OLC, he was the son of a freedman, so an ex-slave. So yeah, his life was quite extraordinary with this sort of background. So yeah, like these days social mobility can be difficult, but it's easier than it was in Roman times to make a name for yourself. Easier, yeah, to make a name for yourself now if your beginnings are humble. So yeah, that's why in the OLC they focus on Quintus as the sort of hero. So he studied in Rome, as we saw, in around OLC 2 and Greece. So all that stuff about School of Orbilius and Theomnestus, etc. And later on in the OLC 3, he did indeed fight in the civil war on the side of Brutus, so against tyranny. So yeah, so as we saw in the OLC, there's a lot that we don't know, but based on the little info that we do know, the writers of the OLC textbooks sort of made stories to and tailored them to the grammar and the vocab in those chapters. So yeah, so you should already know quite a lot about Quintus, and he indeed was a poet. So that is his main sort of legacy to us. So we're indeed going to look at his poems. So I'll see if I can get through 1 or 2 in about half an hour of this class. So I'll scroll down. So we're looking at one of his odes, which are otherwise known as carmina, so poems or songs. Remember, these poems are meant to be read aloud. So as per its English definition, poems celebrating various themes or aspects of life. So not as intense as Catullus, but still talk about things quite deep. Not as creepy as Catullus, you could say as well, but let's have a look. So this first one. Book 1, Ode 11, as you can see on the right. So, you should not ask. So 2, nay is just a variation of known. This is quaesieris. Now, yeah, so perfect subjunctive. But yeah, I think shouldn't is the best translation. Nefas is really saying nefas est. So fas nefas, right and wrong. Or you can say it is a sin scire, to know. So est is understood. Quem finem. Quem is repeated, but you just say what once. What end? What destiny? D is syncopated form of dei, the gods. Dederint, future perfect, roris rit, rims, rit, rint, will have given, do dade dedi, to me, mihi tibi, to me and to you. So he's addressing somebody called Lacono, O Lacono. And you should not, so another perfect subjunctive, and you shouldn't, so just same translation. Now this is short for temptaveris. So temptaveris could be a passive second person singular ending, but no, it's short for temptaveris in this case. So just, yeah, fitting into the meter, which is not dactylic hexameter, by the way, but it's still a meter, so it's still poetry, but you don't have to learn how to do that scansion. And you shouldn't consult Babylonios, Babylonian, literally numbers. You can also say maths or horoscopes. So just those horoscopes must have been mathematical rather than horoscopes you're sort of used to if you follow them. Ut, indicative ut, as or when, as. Erit, eroris rit, it will be. Malleus, now you can tell it will be because malleus is neuter. So it would be malleor if he or she were better. That's malleus. It will be better, pati, pati or pati deponent verb, to experience, to suffer, to endure, but in this case, experience is a better translation. Quicquid is neuter form of quisquid, so anyone, anything, but everything would sound better, I think, can be, you can say everything. So don't worry about the future, live in the now is what he's saying. Sei, so not as common a repeated word like et, no, neck, neque, ought. But nevertheless, if you see it, I think it's a word I test you after the LLC. It's whether or. So whether, Jupiter, tribuit, just another word for give, where we get the word tribute from, has given. Pluris is really saying plurace. So that's, yeah, we've seen this in the Aeneid as well, where you often get an is ending when it's technically regularly should be ace. More winters, so just however many years you live, however many winters you live through, or ultimam, and ultimam hiem mem, a last winter, understood. So because winter is feminine, so yeah, that's why it says ultimam. And this is talking about the winter, just being creative, I guess. Quai, feminine again, because it relates to winter. The winter could be plural or singular. The winters, or the last winter, which, nunc, now, debilitat, another word for breaks, where we get the word debilitating from. Breaks the, yeah, I've said the force of, just to add words to make it make sense. The Tuscan Sea, Tyrrhenum, literally breaks the Tuscan Sea. But the sense of it is breaks the force of the Tuscan Sea. So mare is neuter, but it is accusative here. Literally with opposing rocks. So oppositis humicibus is ablative. Literally with opposing rocks, but it says like against the facing cliffs. So what it's saying is, so in the winter, conditions sort of colder, more fierce, and just where you see, if you're on a coastline, you'd see the waves breaking against the cliffs. So I'll just scroll down. So whether you live for many years or one more year, what he's saying, sapias, present subjunctive. So see the diamond, IA. May you be wise. So sapio sapere means to be wise, to know. It's in our Wesley College's motto. We've got a, could say, do we have a tricolon or do we have just two? No, we do. Yeah, we have tricolon of subjunctives, present subjunctives, or a of jussive subjunctives. Liquase, now that must be first conjugation following the diamond. So may you strain, like liquefy, I guess. Strain the wines. So so seek knowledge, enjoy wine, you could say. And also reseque, so that must also be a first conjugation verb. So may you cut back, like the word secateurs. Secateurs in the garden, cut, and re means cut back. And may you cut back, literally long hope. So space, space, spam, fifth declension, they're mainly feminine. Long hope, spartio brevi, so third declension adjective, in a short time. Cut back, and in a short space. Yeah, so so don't think too far ahead. So get that out of your system. Get that thinking out of your system is what he's saying. Dum loquimur, deponent verb, while we are talking, while we talk. Itas, another word for time, more related to like a generation than just, but still, you know, ticking time. Invida, so it's related to the word invideo, like envious, hostile. What's the word for hang on, so you oh no, that's in vita, but yeah, it's just anyway, it means hostile, but yeah, you can see it's related to words you've already seen before. But hostile time, you'd say time our enemy, like time is the enemy. And fugerit again is probably a different, yeah, will have, so that's future perfect, but we say time flees, but yeah, so we can use English phrases here. So not saying hostile time will have fled, time our enemy, because we say time is the enemy, flies, because we say time flies. And then the reason why we're doing this one has a very famous phrase, carpe diem, seize the day, so pluck the day, like in like from the phrase in Dead Poet Society. So it's picking a flower while it's still alive. So there's a very rich analogy there. Trusting, so this is an adjective, I believe. Quam minimum, so that quam plus the superlative, as little as possible. Yeah, in postero, in time to follow. So posterus equals following as an adjective. So just, yeah, so live for the moment is what he's saying. Okay, I think we have time to look at another one. So just, because, yeah, I'm just having a look at how long this is taking. Oh, no, it's, yeah, 23. So there's another card winner. So 23. So, yeah, so just scroll down here. Oh, so too far. There we go. All right, so. Vitas, you avoid. Vito, vitare. Oh, yeah, so what I was trying to get at before, where I just a bit of a mind blank, was I don't think it's the case, but vito is I avoid, and in vito means I invite. So is inviting someone, not avoiding them. That's but yeah, so that's how I remember, but don't think, I'm not 100% sure on that derivation there. You avoid me. Similis is nominative because the person who's doing the voiding is the one who is like. That's a third declension adjective. And it takes a dative, like a inuleo, like a fawn. Oh, Chloe. Now, because the fawn is dative, quaerenti, the PAP, which is describing it, has to be dative as well. So seeking, her parvidam matrem, you've seen the word parvidam or parvidas, I think, in the Aeneid, when the mothers are fleeing Troy. On untrodden mountains, so understood in plus the ablative. On are we east? Now, if you think about it, that is like saying we are. So we are is a road, are we are is away from a road. So they're not formal tracks. So they haven't been stepped on. So untrodden. So are plus are and ab plus we are. On untrodden mountains, non sine plus the ablative, not without. Wano, empty, like the word vain. Fear, metu. So that is a fourth declension noun. So it ends in a U. Fear of two things. orarum of the breezes, vocab 10 or between 10 to 13, I remember that one. Et silvae, and of the wood. We can say of the breezes and the wood. In English, we just take shortcuts. Nam, 4. Again, say, weather. Spring's arrival, the arrival of spring. Adventus, fourth declension noun. A fourth principal part, so the word for having arrived or having been arrived, I'm not sure if you say that, can double as a fourth declension noun, becomes adventus. Adventus becomes a word for arrival. We've also got that for discessus, which having departed can be a departure, having wept, flatus can be weeping, etc., etc. Exercitus, having been trained, is an army, because an army is a body of soldiers having been trained. Weather spring's arrival, the arrival whereis, vocab 18, I think it was. The arrival of spring. In horuit, we encounter this in fearing clauses. So in horuit, the same as horuit. Horeo, bristles, trembles. For the shivering or movable leaves. So mobilibus means moving. So just, leaves obviously shake in the wind. Foliage, like the word foliage. So you have another bus, ibus and is. For weather spring's arrival bristles for the shivering leaves. Seu, or green lizards, virides. I think that's the word for green. Looks like where, which is green, I think. Lacertae is lizards. I think that's the right way around. Or green lizards disperse. Now, this is a historic infinitive or a shortened form, really saying dimoverunt. Disperse, a rubum, a bramble bush. Tremit, Chloe, that is. Trembles, looks like the word trembles, I guess. Right. Okay, so I'll just scroll down a little bit. Bramble, she trembles. Oh, sorry. She trembles et. Both ablative, you'd say in her heart. Et genibus, genu, a very rare neuter fourth declension noun. Yeah, so genu, sulu, gnu, what, gnu, ibus. And in her knees, like you can, trembly knees. They're just inside and out, outwardly, inwardly. She is fearfully avoiding Horace. Where are we? Now, what's the word now? Is that at qui? It must be at qui. Now, not very common. It looks like the word for and, of course. I am not. Non ego. Now, I am not. Oh, sorry, that's not I am not as in sum, but I am not pursuing. I've just, so as a, no, it really should be ut. Hang on. Ut as a rough tiger or a. Oh, I see. Yeah, so yeah, really weird word order here. Ut as a tigris, a tiger. Where we get the word, the river Tigris in the Middle East from, the Tigris in the Euphrates. Just means tiger. As an aspera tiger, a rough tiger. Now, Juno in the Aeneid, her common epithet is aspera, so savage. So savage, rough is the general translation. So as a rough tiger, now you've got this enclitic here, or this sort of suffix. It's a VE, so where, or a. So que is more common, but where is or rather than and. Or a Gaetulian, just a certain type, lion. So, but I am not persecuting you. Pursuing, chasing, stalking, hunting after you. Frangere, to maul you, literally to break you. So frango, frangere. Tandem, at last, or you can say indeed. Decine. Now, it's like I say, manete sedere, stop to, stay to sit, but we usually say stay sitting, but we use an infinitive. So stop, decine, stop following, sequi. So deponent verb infinitive, stop following, really literally stop to follow. Stop following your mum, your mother. You are old enough. So literally the word is ripe. So tempestiva. So the word, it's not considered tempestuous like a storm, but it's like you are timely, like it's time. You're yeah, it's time you're old enough. Yeah, is what he means for a man. So timely now. So you are old enough, literally ripe or mature. Tempestiva, dative for a man. What is the next one? Do we have time to do it? We have 7. No, I'm not going to do this one. Yeah, so that should do for today. We only have 3 poems to go. So with Horace. So yeah, that's it.